to the next fight right now. Fighting out of the red corner, Bryant, Haynes.
Starting off the main card here at Hardrock MMA 96. Got an amateur bantamweight bout, Bryant Haynes and Josh Meyers. Bryant Haynes representing Core. Coming out of Anchorage, Kentucky. This guy has a pretty expansive wrestling background. Two-time state qualifier, four-time national team member in high school. Now in college for nursing, so still just 20 years old is Bryant Haynes. Young guy. There's so many young guys coming into this sport, especially with a wrestling background. And that's just, we were talking about it earlier before the show. It's probably the best base to get into mixed martial arts.
Yeah, it's difficult to argue with a strong ground grappling. You know, to be able to control someone a la, most recently, as I referenced earlier, Chael Sonnen, Stipe Miocic. There's no substitute for just making someone's life a miserable wreck for those however many rounds. I mean, you can control them, you make their life hell. That wins a lot of fights, is the overwhelming theme.
Josh Meyers, the third Apex martial arts fighter on the card tonight. James London and Junie Millar have been busy over here in this blue corner tonight. Josh Meyers, 24 years old, making his amateur debut. And James London said Josh Meyers is the resident spark plug in the gym. He just keeps going. We just keep sparring, and it doesn't matter if it's stand-up or ground, he just keeps coming.
That would be consistent with our night of fights here tonight at the Parakeet Convention Center in Shepherdsville, Kentucky at Hardrock MMA 96. There's been some absolutely electric fights so far.
Originally born in Germany, Josh Meyers, and grew up in Indiana. Said he played rugby in high school, and these days plays a lot of soccer. I think the rugby is also a pretty good base for MMA. You have to like getting hit in rugby.
You really do. Football too. You know, if you're
but the difference is rugby, they don't even wear pads.
Good point, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is in the 135-pound weight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 136 pounds, representing Core Combat Sports from Louisville, Kentucky, Bryant Haynes.
Nice ovation there for Bryant Haynes.
Fighting out of the B2 digital blue corner, weighing in at 136 pounds, representing Apex Martial Arts Academy from right here in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, Josh Smiley Meyers.
Bantamweight action here, Hardrock MMA 96. Bryant Haynes in the white trimmed in red and black. Josh Meyers in the black. Rob Mooney, the busy guy tonight. Third man in the cage.
Once again, we have Bryant Haynes out of Core Combat Sports, Elio Seneca, the Haddads. You got all sorts of great coaches over there.
Abdul Jarvis.
Yeah, Brent Weedman, Kurt Wimsett. I mean, the list goes on and on there. Wow.
That dropped immediately.
Wow.
Haynes looking to tee off on the ground, and Haynes is trying to survive, or Meyers trying to survive. Wow, this crowd is going absolutely crazy. They love Bryant Haynes.
And Meyers doing everything he can with his guard to stay alive. Hat goes off to him if he can get out of this predicament.
Has the feet on the hips. It's the big slam there from Haynes. You can see Meyers here. This was the big thing that we talked about, though. The wrestler, when they transition to MMA, how do they finish? How do they learn how to finish? We saw Haynes throwing some heavy strikes, but Meyers is surviving thus far.
That's a testament to jiu-jitsu right there, if I've ever seen it, is you're attacked, you're on your heels figuratively, and you're able to use your guard and come out of it, and possibly get out of the round. Sure, he's going to lose the round, right?
Yeah, and he's also now taking some more heavy leather as Haynes, now passes to half guard. And this is a position that a lot of MMA fighters love to inflict punishment as half guard, especially when you really can't use the elbows. Now looking for that crucifix position is Haynes. Meyers trying to sneak out the back door. It's going to be tough against a big, heavy, experienced wrestler. As Haynes now has the arm triangle, this might be tight. Switches, he needs to turn over that hip to finish this.
Wow.
Has the bicep locked.
Is it going to work? You got a minute left in the
Now
round.
switching to the back. Looked like he was going for a rear naked choke, but instead is going to throw some big, heavy leather.
If there's such thing as a 10-8 round, I'd say this is it.
This is pretty close, except now Meyers
can
back
get
to
out.
his feet.
Okay.
Haynes has to watch blocking those kicks with his hands.
Head goes off to Meyers. My goodness.
Haynes looks good on the feet too. Good head movement. Looks really confident and relaxed in there.
Let's not forget how this fight got to the ground earlier.
And Meyers has his chin straight up, which is not good.
Good observation there. That's not a good sign if you're trying to stay on your feet.
Yeah, and he's also really getting off balance a lot too. Nice job catching the kick there from Haynes. Oh my.
My goodness, Haynes with the absolute power.
And he's hurt, it looks like. Sorry, thought he was hurt. End of the first round, and I think you were right. I think that might be pretty close to a 10-8 round.
I'd say that's a 10-8 round.
There by Bryant Haynes.
Having been a former judge in the state of Kentucky, I'd say if there's such thing as a 10-8 round, you got to say that.
I think the one saving grace for Meyers, though, he was able to get back to his feet. But in getting back to his feet, he ate a couple more shots and another big slam. I think if you're the corner of Haynes, you got to say that was a great round, but you have to calm down and you have to go back out there and do it again.
Hat goes off to Tim Bryant and Matt McCarthy for the advanced camera work angles we're seeing tonight. Absolutely top-notch production value.
Yeah, great shot of the corner there of Bryant Haynes. Getting the instructions in between rounds. And that's, I mean, again, two guys coming from really high-level gyms, having the benefit of having experienced guys behind you.
Like I said earlier, we have representation tonight from Louisville Combat Academy. Obviously, in this fight, Apex Martial Arts and Core Combat Sports. It's difficult. You'd be hard-pressed to find two better gyms in the city of Louisville for producing top-notch combat athletes.
Yeah. And producing, you know, also young guys making their debut in the sport here, 20-year-old Haynes and 24-year-old Meyers.
Very encouraging for the health of the sport. And in particular, you got to say for the health of Hardrock MMA Promotions.
Nice, another right hand. Haynes really loves that right hand lead. He's feinting a lot of head movement. I mean, for a guy coming from a wrestling background, his striking looks great so far. He's really been controlling the fight thus far. Looked like he landed a right hand, big right hook, looping right hook from Meyers. Nice leg kick there.
Wow.
Starting to tee off again is Haynes.
Wow,
Haynes
this
is
is
really picking his shots now.
Meyers not doing the best of job with his guard or keeping his chin down, as you alluded to earlier.
Yeah, now his hands are starting to drop, and he's taking a lot of punishment.
But he's still in there. That goes off to Meyers for staying
head
alive.
kick.
Wow.
Was blocked, but you still feel the impact of those head kicks. Got him with the toenail there. The biggest thing that I see from Meyers is he's really swinging from his hips, and everything that he's throwing, Haynes can see coming from a mile away. Needs to tighten up those strikes a little bit. Tighten up those hooks especially.
Say what we will about
Haynes
Meyers.
catches
Oh
another
my
kick.
goodness.
Drives in for another takedown.
Right into mount, and is Meyers going to be able to survive this round? I don't know. There's a minute 20 seconds left.
You see that forearm across the face there, that
That
grinding
cannot
wrestler
feel good.
style.
Now Meyers does have a half guard.
Looks like he's going for that arm triangle again that he wasn't able to finish in the first round. It looked like he had it. He really just needed to turn over his hips. And this is where a lot of wrestlers will start to dish out some punishment, and a lot of times their opponent will give them their back. That's why so many wrestlers seem to finish fights with rear naked chokes, especially early on in their career. Some big shots there from Haynes on the top.
Haynes maintaining mount and just raining in strikes. Now Meyers doing a good job to constantly better his position. Regains the half guard. Amazing that Meyers, despite all the damage he's taken.
Haynes slips right back through though, right back into the full mount.
That he continues to be able to progress in his position.
I think the big key here though is seeing the striking from a young wrestler in Bryant Haynes in his debut. Scramble there, and Haynes ends up on top. That was Meyers' chance, I think, to get back to his feet. Under 10 seconds left to go here in round number 2. What a performance thus far from Bryant Haynes.
Very gutsy for Meyers to be able to hang in there.
And he looks no worse to wear. I mean, he's taken a lot of punishment and definitely down 2 rounds thus far, but looks to be, as we see the replay here.
Once again, great action there, production for the replay here at Hardrock MMA 96.
There's a right hand that landed clean.
Haynes is a very promising looking prospect.
Yeah. Also want to say tonight, thank you to our sponsor B2 Digital. You see them up in the right hand corner of the screen all night. Trading at BTDG. They have some extracurricular activity in the crowd. Keep the fights in the cage, of course.
It's close to my son over there. That's not good.
Please go back to your seat. There's nothing to see here.
It always amazes me how when there's a fight in the crowd, people look away from the guys who are actually the trained fighters.
I've got an 8-year-old son who's not far from those extracurricular activities over there.
Yeah, that's some liquid courage maybe.
I happen to know a few of the guys who are back toward that corner, and I know that I wouldn't recommend messing with them.
Yeah, you never know when you come to a fight who is a fighter.
No, especially somewhere like this. Very high percentage of the people in this building right now are combat athletes themselves.
Yeah, seeing some of the guys who are just randomly sitting in the crowd who are pretty dangerous guys. Nevertheless, round number 3 here. Incredible bantamweight fight thus far. Bryant Haynes and Josh Meyers. And you know the wrestling background, the cardio is going to be there from Haynes. Big right hand, oh my goodness. He is stalking and teeing off now.
Haynes wants a finish more than anything, and it's almost there. How much longer will Rob Mooney allow this to go?
Shots. And Meyers
He's
now,
saying
oh, that's a knockout. Oh my goodness. A big right hand, holy cow. That was a big right hand, oh my goodness. Talk about putting your name on the map. Wow.
Welcome to the mixed martial arts world.
Wow. Bryant Haynes with the knockout win, showing the fans in the crowd how it's done. Of course, Jesse Roman's over there in the middle of it all, but he's just joking
I see Terry
around.
Coulter over there also.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on? Like I said earlier, I would not advise anyone to mess with any of those guys.
Of course, we want to keep the focus on the guys in the cage because that was maybe the best performance I've seen in a long time from a debut amateur fighter. And I go to a lot of these things. That's an impressive performance by Bryant Haynes. Just absolutely imposing his will against a really game opponent in Josh Meyers. That's going to be a name to watch out for looking forward into 2018 and beyond.
Ladies and gentlemen, 38 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by knockout, Bryant Haynes.
Wow. Bryant Haynes, winner by knockout, 20 years old.
Absolutely amazing performance out of Bryant Haynes at a Core Combat Sports in Louisville. As we said earlier, under Elio Seneca, Brent Weedman, the entire crew there at Core. That is one promising prospect. You just got to say what's next for a fighter at 135 like Haynes.
And now you see why Brendan Higdon put those guys on the main card as debut fighters. Wow.
Folks, do remember, the real action is in the cage. These guys are doing it for the love of the sport. These guys do not get paid. They cannot get paid. They are amateurs. The only reason they are here is because they love the sport and love performing